6 guaranteed matches and 6 maybe matches going into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
WrestleMania's gonna be hot.
I'm thinking 14 matches, 4 on the pre-show, 10 on the main card. That's what I'm thinking.
No Taker.
And no Taker and no Cena.
Not
Yeah, Cena will be on there.
Not yet. Yeah, I know, but
He'll wrestle Angle or
Smoke
Joe, or wrestle Angle, or he'll wrestle Joe.
the way they did it Tuesday night, it didn't seem like it was going towards Joe versus Cena.
No, I agree.
It looked like it. Well, let's say for the
Okay.
Okay, so Kofi and New Day, Ronda, Becky, Charlotte. I'll do.
Kofi and New Day.
Because he's
I'll
not
talk
black,
about
Jason.
Well,
you don't want to talk about Fastlane?
no, because you always take the first one.
Fastlane was
I mean, you can do
Chronological
Fastlane and Kofi.
It's so funny. Whenever I tweeted it, your reaction, you're like, honestly, like,
One of these
it wasn't what
ones
you
are-
would think.
Yeah.
And
The
I'm
right
watching
one
it,
is
and I'm
recycling.
like, this motherfucker sent Kofi out to be decimated by literally the 2 whitest guys on the roster. Like,
The Irish guy and this.
I mean, like, he's fucking almost phosphorescent. He's so white.
yeah.
Phosphorescent, good word.
And
You'd be surprised how a bunch of weed just makes
These
you
new
sit back and
chairs?
just shake
just like shake your head and just be like, yeah, whatever.
Wake me up when it's WrestleMania.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna request off for WrestleMania, so I might come wherever you guys are.
Are you gonna come over?
Yeah, but
Hell
I gotta
yeah.
ask my buddy to cover for me, but so I'm working at a wine bar in Alton a couple days a week.
Yeah, man, you're more than welcome. I'm gonna have a hell of a spread.
And I'm also like, I drink a couple beers after my shift, and I'm a little buzzed because I haven't eaten all day, but I haven't been drinking like at all, so that'll be good.
Yeah, I like. Usually it's around 12 to 15 people. It's usually pretty packed.
Right on.
Because there's so much stuff to talk to, guys, I'm gonna try to keep it
Short.
moving.
Sure.
But I know that doesn't always work, but I'm gonna try because there was a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff.
Is there any bad stuff? We're staying positive today. I'm trying to remember like Raw. I watched both shows.
It ended with that Ambrose McIntyre brawl that was pretty good for
Yeah.
a brawl. Like
I still wonder where they're going with McIntyre
it's gonna be him versus Roman.
at Mania.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Even if he lose, which he will lose,
He's gonna lose, but it'll be fine.
but it's great for him.
Yeah, I agree. Better than Corbin.
If I were to build a wrestler, it would be Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, I mean, he's great.
100%.
He's great.
He's a 5-tool player.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just talk right in your microphone?
He's not free.
Check.
Move it closer
1,
to
2,
your
1,
face.
2. I'm gonna closer to my face.
Yeah, it
Maybe
moves.
This is, yeah, right. I think I've never done this before. Is that good? You want to keep talking? Keep going.
I think we're all set.
What'd you have for
Alright.
breakfast today?
I had a Smoothie King peanut power plus.
Ooh,
Yeah,
how about that?
that's all I've eaten.
That's all you've eaten today?
Yeah, I gotta get some food after
I've literally had 4 meals.
this.
Jesus Christ, man. What the
I've
fuck?
had 2 beers, and that's all I've put in my
What?
body. Yeah.
That should be like a thing every week. Is your name like you should just be able to have 2 beers? And that's all you have. On
Yeah.
there.
That's actually where the name came from, because that's usually what it was. But
And I had breakfast at 6:50. I had another meal at 9:30. I ate lunch at 11:30, and then I ate again at 2:30.
King.
I ate a lot.
Jesus Christ.
Well, he works out.
I'm happy I get
Friends
one,
like-
man. Shit.
I don't eat a lot. I just run in the morning. That's
No,
all.
I didn't see you eat last. I see you run a lot.
Yeah, I run a lot.
Yeah.
I did 3 miles at 6 a.m.
Mm-mm.
You
No,
must have.
see,
I was at the gym at 7 a.m.
boys in blue got to be after my ass. So I'm running at 6 in the morning. Kiss my ass.
Don't be running around in my neighborhood.
What the fuck am I doing in your neighborhood at 6 in the morning anyway? Shit, there's the bigger question.
You know, it's
Leaving?
you don't see a lot of black people jogging in neighborhoods.
Fuck
Gee,
no,
I wonder why.
Yeah, I know. Why?
if they're jogging, it's away from police.
Oh shit, he following me. Fuck. Go. Man, don't run after me, motherfucker.
All right, Jay was fired up.
What was
No.
yours?
Apparently you're gonna have me be the black delegation representative.
Kofi
for
Mania,
Kingston.
and then yours was
Ronda.
okay.
All right, fellas, you ready?
Yeah, man.
Here we go.
Tonight's on the Band from Ringside podcast, we have Kofi Mania, Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky, and we also I fucked that up. Hold on.
Take two.
Let me write that real fast. Kofi Mania.
It's really nice right up until
Yeah,
So I started talking?
get his ass, Andrew. Get him.
Okay. Tonight on the Man from Ringside podcast, we have Kofi Mania, Ronda versus Charlotte versus Becky Lynch for the title, the Indies versus the WWE, that and a whole bunch more tonight on the Man from Ringside podcast. There's nothing bigger than my ego.
Shit, mine.
Ditch that 9 to 5. It's time to feel alive. Hello, Marks, and welcome to the Band from Ringside podcast. As always, I'm your host, Bill Viggy, a.k.a. Michael Smart Duncan. And to my right, we have Two Beer, Zach Pullman. What's going on, Two Beer?
Only thing bigger than Bill's ego is my dick.
And to his right, we have Jason Cornelius Bell. What's going on, JCB?
Allow us to pull down the good book of Band from Ringside, volume 99, chapter 3, verse 14 of the Good Smart Saith, hashtag Boo the Heels. It is all good, baby. Shout out to my girl, Becky Balboa. I love you. I wanted to say the dick joke, but I figured that was just given.
Yeah.
And to his right, making his triumphant return
Oh!
to the Band from Ringside
The
podcast,
Beatles
we
are
have
back.
Tender Mahal. What's going on,
How's it
Tender?
going, guys? I can't wait to see how fired up JCB gets today.
Oh, he's gonna get
Jesus.
fired up. But
Ah.
you know, you and I was talking about how mad he gets.
Oh,
he's so
man.
man. He
We got
really
a lot of
hates
coffee.
WWE.
Sorry, I
Coffee
tell the
they brought today.
truth. Sorry, I tell the truth.
We are coming at you from the exquisite Shock City Studios in beautiful St. Louis, Missouri. We have Andrew Bushway turning the knob tonight.
Wally Pips in the house.
So much better than Sam. So much
Oh,
better
I'm
than
sick.
Rich. Oh yeah. I mean, this is really nice. It's really nice.
I have a
having you
new
here.
house.
Uh,
I'm getting married.
Before we get too far into it, we gotta talk about our day one-ish sponsor. That's Soul Taco, that Korean Mexican fusion food that you never knew that you needed, but once you have it, you always got to. They have places in St. Louis, Missouri, 2 food trucks driving around St. Louis, Missouri, one in University City, one in Chesterfield, Missouri, one in Columbia, Missouri, 2 in Chicago, Illinois. Guys, if you've never had that Soul Taco food, I cannot recommend it enough. We don't. I know that it sounds like we're always saying that we're putting it over a little bit too much because they give us money and because they're sponsors, but we're telling you,
I'm not a shill.
Uh-oh.
I-
Uh-oh.
you know,
We're not talking WWE.
I'm
just
not
yet.
quite a Gen Xer, but I'm not a millennial. Like, I'm somewhere in between. I will not sell out, though. I still have that punk rock ethic, and if I like something, I'm going to say that I like something, and I like Soul. Soul Taco is good as fuck. So go get yourself that Soul Taco, guys. They got those tacos. They got those burritos. I definitely recommend the spicy pork burrito. That's the best one, but you can also get the steak. You can get the chicken. You can get the kimchi fries. Go ahead and get whatever you want. Tell them the Band from Ringside sent you. They're a friend of the show. They're a sponsor of the show. And it is delicious. And without further ado, let's get to our 3 count. JCB, what you got?
I guess we'll kind of briefly discuss Fastlane and go into the bigger picture, which is one Kofi Kingston Fastlane on Sunday night.
Fastlane was a good pay-per-view. Everybody agrees, right?
Yeah.
B plus?
B
B minus.
minus B.
On paper, it was like B plus A minus, and then once it happened, it kind of.
We'll just start quickly. Obviously, Daniel Bryan retains. Samoa Joe is now your new United States champion in a pretty good Fatal 4 match. Revival retains. Ronda interferes with the Becky Charlotte match, so now you have the official triple threat. No IC. No, take that back. Bobby Lashley won on Monday night, so there was no IC title. Shocker. Guess you just waited for Monday night to strip my boy Finn from the title. I don't think I'm missing anything else. Usos. Asuka retains. Uso retains. Shane flips on Miz.
What was your favorite part of the night?
Favorite part of the night was probably the triple threat. Daniel Bryan, KO, Mustafa Ali. It was good to see Mustafa Ali come back and get a little taste of what he was missing, even though it wasn't his fault. It's just an injury.
They almost hung him out to dry.
Yeah.
They almost hung him out to dry. He almost got that Rey Mysterio.
But that's kind of
He almost got the Rey Mysterio treatment.
That's the backlash. But that's the backlash of this Kofi Mania thing.
Yeah.
It's good, but now here's Mustafa Ali.
To Mustafa Ali's credit, though, it didn't take very long for him to get them back on his side.
And that's kudos to him.
He's
That's
a pro.
professional, and everybody else in that ring is professional. But I said it to Tinder, and when it was happening, I was like, I felt like that was kind of a slap in the face because you got these three guys that are giving a good performance, and then we're just talking about Kofi. I get it. Kofi is the story. I get it. But
It's fun.
Yeah, but can we just table it for a second?
Sure.
And just let these guys do their deal. Let Daniel Bryan win because that's where we're going. And let's give respect to the motherfuckers that are in the ring versus knowing what Vince and everybody else in the universe
Did you feel like
knows.
the crowd took over?
I think they were trying to.
Yeah, with those Kofi chants, I didn't like those Kofi chants.
No.
And
not
I
at all.
mean, they were expected, but I didn't like it especially because Mustafa Ali's been busting his ass in this story, and the only reason Kofi even got over in this story is because Mustafa fucking took a bad bump and got a concussion.
And I'm not saying that Mustafa Ali would have gone this route where we'd have had a Mustafa Ali Daniel Bryan WrestleMania match, but this was his storyline. So let's not get it twisted, okay? Let this man have his moment. Kofi's getting ready to have his moment. Let's not disrespect the guys that are in the ring trying to do what they do.
Zach, what was your favorite part of the night?
It was that the Fatal 4-Way was a great match, and Joe getting his first singles title on the main roster is definitely cool. But whenever I first turned it on, I was working, and it was like 8 o'clock, and I got to turn on Fastlane whenever the bar closed. And the first thing that I saw was the entrance to the triple threat, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? Because originally I thought it was just Bryan and KO. Mustafa Ali comes out.
Same thing happened to me. I didn't know what the hell was happening.
Yeah, and so I watched the match, and I immediately got on Friends of BFR, and I said, I don't know what's happening. I was like, but this match has big dick energy. It was so fucking good. Like Mustafa, he was the star of the match, and I mean they all just worked around him, and that was really cool. Like he took the best bumps. He was definitely the centerpiece of that match, and the match. I would like to see Bryan and KO on their own, but they really did a great job with whoever the agent was did a great job with that match.
Joe.
My favorite part of the night was quite possibly the Miz's dad. I mean, the job he did selling the Shane McMahon.
Dude, that was horrible.
I was telling Jay about, like, if one of our dads were watching us get pounded by another man, like, he would try to like jump over the guardrail or get angry. He was just like stone faced, didn't sell anything. He comes up and grabs him in the face. He doesn't sell that. He just sits down and looks around.
I thought about that when I was watching it, like, because they did cut back to him when Shane was beating his ass, and he was like Shane explained on SmackDown, he was potato face.
Okay.
Like he did not say anything.
If I was the Miz and my dad was in the audience, like Michael Cole would have been like, "Why is John Larroquette beating up Shane McMahon?"
Dan Fielding. It would also be strange to me to explain to my dad how to sell. Like I don't think I could explain.
Come
to my
on,
dad
I mean
how
he's
to
got
sell.
to know. I mean he's on the show with him. He's been in the audience a million times.
It's his son getting beat up by another grown man. There shouldn't be any selling involved. I don't have kids. Let's just say one of my nephews, let's just say one of my nephews was getting beat in front of me. I'm climbing the guardrail or die trying.
I don't want to play to a straw man here, but the 4-man match was spectacular. Like really, really well really well thought out the way that everything went down. It was 10 minutes of pure action, and I loved it. Um, the Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, Mustafa Ali thing, uh, the, that match was also great because those three guys went together really well. Mustafa Ali played his part really well. You could tell the match was really thought out. Like Zach said, bringing up the agents. Like we always have to think about the agents. Like they are people that play into this stuff.
No question.
And
I bet I'd put money that that's a Tyson Kidd match.
but if you had to say, if you told me 5, 10 years ago that Kevin Steen and Brian Danielson were going to be facing each other for the belt, and that would have been too boring for you, so they had to add Mustafa Ali. You'd have to like check yourself and be like, wait a minute, why am I in this? Why am I even watching wrestling?
Hey, motherfucker, speak for yourself. I was good with that match as it was.
Am I only watching because am I only watching to constantly be disappointed by everything? But I thought that match was also great. I thought that the way that the Charlotte Becky match worked out really well because we weren't looking for a 5-star match that night. We weren't looking for a 3-star match that night. We were looking for something to get us to WrestleMania.
I hated that finish though.
It wasn't even. It wasn't. I hated the finish.
If you take
it was just kind of like, okay.
If you could pick the laziest thing to do, and
that's what
I mean. Like if you could pick the laziest thing and the thing that you most expected them to do, that's what I expected them to do.
Tinder even said it. He said it before the match even started. You looking for a Ronda Rousey interference? It's kind of like, yeah.
It was a storyline match. It wasn't a match. It was
right.
Just prolonging storyline.
And she was limping for.
And I remember when Fastlane came around. There used to not be a pay-per-view in between Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania, and then Fastlane came around, and we were like, wait a minute, why is this pay-per-view here? But I think in this case, this pay-per-view actually served a purpose.
They got to make up all those network subs they lost at the fucking
no,
Jewel.
God damn.
I mean, this is the first time in a while. I mean, you got to give WWE some credit here. This is the first time in a long time where they've had multiple storylines make a lot of sense leading into WrestleMania, where you actually are intrigued and you want to see the matches.
Okay, let's not go as far as that.
I totally agree.
Let's not go as far as to say it makes a lot of sense. We've done a good job with storylines. I'll go that far.
So going back to your one count, the Kofi stuff makes a lot of storyline sense because they're trying to make it. They're trying to build up everything against him, right?
Right, of course. Now you got the this gauntlet match coming up on Tuesday.
Yeah,
had the beatdown on Sunday night, which was kind of to be expected.
Let's swing it into SmackDown, where Vince came out and Vince said to Kofi, that's fine. You can have your WrestleMania match because everybody's chanting Kofi. In the first segment of the show where Shane was cutting his promo against Miz, people were chanting Kofi. People were psyched up for Kofi. It's a real thing. And
no, there's no question.
Like I said to you earlier, I think that Vince has learned his lesson from Daniel Bryan, where you have to ride the wave where it's going. So if people love Kofi, let's be psyched about Kofi. And then if Vince decides to be on screen with you, that means that it's a big deal.
Agreed.
And if Vince decides to be on screen with you and he decides to make a gauntlet match for next SmackDown, I'll tell you what, I'll be damned if I'm not watching that gauntlet match.
Can I get my negativity out of the way before you?
No, because I'm gonna jump in after you. Go ahead,
please. The negativity is you mentioned the Daniel Bryan thing, and it's the same. And it seems like they only know one way to book a babyface, which is them getting beat down, and the authority pushes them down, and then they like rise up, and overcome it. But we had like that handicap match where, Cesaro and Sheamus just beat the fuck out of him and then pinned him. Like they could have had like a roll up victory or something to keep him,
But that played into Vince's promo on Tuesday night. This is the thing, like.
Okay.
It used to be Mondays and Tuesdays rolled into pay-per-views, and pay-per-views is where shit happened. But now WWE makes more money on Monday and Tuesday than they do on pay-per-views because they have the network. So they might as well have pay-per-views roll into Monday and Tuesday nights where they make shit happen.
Vince said that Kofi's going to WrestleMania if he wins this gauntlet. Do you think that he's just going to hand him a ticket once he wins it? Because that would be the most ultimate fucking heel move ever. Like, here's a VIP package for you, Kofi. Like, you don't get your match. They're very careful about the wording.
Yeah, and
He didn't say he was in a title shot.
And Vince did it on Fastlane. He did it on Tuesday. We're going to talk about the gauntlet match. Let's just talk about the gauntlet match. Here's my negativity on the gauntlet match. There's guys that can interfere to get us from point A to point B. I don't think that Kofi's going to run the table where he wins each and every time clean. Randy Orton's out there, so AJ Styles is going to be out there. Samoa Joe's out there.
Yeah.
Name a motherfucker that doesn't want a piece of Samoa Joe right about now.
That's good booking.
Okay,
great booking.
Why is this great? Why not have the babyface run the table without interference, without anybody jumping in? Why not have the babyface run the table?
Why can't the babyface win?
You guys just said two exact opposite things. Zach said, "Oh, well, this is the only way that the babyface can get over because he has to beat everybody." And Jason said, "Oh, the babyface has to get over,
Well,
so
we're
everybody
here
else is going
now.
to come up and beat him now."
We're here now.
No,
we can't change the booking.
They
This
only
is what
book a
we're here.
babyface one way. They don't let him. When's the last time outside of like Asuka and NXT where they actually let a babyface like run roughshod? They fucking keep him down.
Becky Lynch, same way.
That's how you
This is
book
the
a
same
babyface.
way. Daniel
That's how
Bryan's
they
the
book a
same way.
babyface.
But I mean, damn. I mean, can we not? Is there not like new math in 2019? I've seen like long division done a different way. You can't do things different ways.
Guys, the payoff is about WrestleMania. The payoff's at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Okay, so if Kofi loses, God forbid, then all this is gonna come to a screeching fucking halt.
Let me
It's
ask
not.
you something. What happened 2 weeks before Daniel Bryan won the title at WrestleMania 30? What happened 2 weeks before that on SmackDown?
Tell us what happened.
Yeah, motherfucker, you act like I'm.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking knows. Nobody fucking knows because the payoff is WrestleMania. It doesn't matter what happens before. The payoff is always WrestleMania. Nobody remembers what happens on SmackDown prior to WrestleMania because WrestleMania is always the payoff.
The payoff is great. The story is a part of said payoff. So if you got a bad chapter or two, sorry, I'm gonna call out the bad chapter or two.
You can call it the bad chapter or two, but you also have to just
We ain't even got to the payoff yet.
I know. I'm just saying, just ride along with it, man. It's okay.
Look, I didn't take a dump on it. I peed on it. Okay, it's a difference.
Oh my god.
Damn.
That's good, dude. We're gonna bring to our 2 count.
You motherfuckers here. Shit.
I'm so glad Joey's here. God damn.
No, whatever.
It's
I
really
say
nice.
somebody
No,
actually agrees.
you guys are
Somebody
fucking
actually
haters.
agrees. I'm a hater.
You guys are fucking
no,
haters.
I'm not a hater. I call it the way I see it. It's different. That's all it is. Sorry, not sorry. Please, Zach.
All right, so 2 count. We got Ronda Rousey. Can you believe that it's been a whole week since we've done this to the point where we didn't even get a chance to talk about like the Ronda Rousey YouTube video? Like that's been
Walk
like
out
a
the
week.
door and all hell breaks loose. Somebody, what the fuck is this?
Like we're almost 3 years into a Trump presidency, and it's been a week since this video dropped. Like I mean, time is fucking flying here, guys. So, first of all, I'm not the type of guy that says a
told you
so,
so,
but I fucking a so.
Mhm.
Everybody was so fucking heated up about this, and I was like, it's a work. It's a work. I was like, they're doing a good job. It's a work shoot. This is, whether or not you like it, it's Rhonda calling out. She's saying the words kayfabe. She's saying the words scripted, and I was like, this is definitely, this is a work, and it was a work. So a so.
Yeah. No,
I just had to get on my chest.
I'll say it like this.
Is that the whole 2 count?
No, that's not the whole 2 count. That was number 1.
Go,
So
no, go ahead. Go ahead and finish.
Anyway, so we had the kayfabe promo. We had the interference that we already talked about at Fastlane. And then Monday night, she's continuing this. So we've got, what did she call them on Raw? The Carney Con artists that they've always been. So this is taking it like a little bit of an extra step too far. I've always been of the opinion they should have worked to Ronda's strengths from the beginning. And this goes back to the Kofi thing. They only have one way to book a babyface. And when a babyface is in a match, they make them sell, and they make them sell, and they make them sell, and then they come back from behind. Ronda could have been a babyface, beating bitches' asses in 30 to 90 seconds for the last year, and nobody would have been mad. We don't need to see her sell. She's good at it. Thankfully, she's good at it. But she could have just beaten people's asses. She's already been booked super strong. It could have been that way. now we have her calling, calling out the fans, calling everybody marks. You guys are stupid for watching this. I'm the real deal. I'll beat any of these bitches' asses, and it is what it is. I mean, like, I don't particularly love that. I think this is more along the lines of what should have happened without all the fake talk. Her just coming out strong and beating people up. But she had some good lines. You got to pay $60 to see an armbar. That was pretty fun.
That was nice.
But
Say what you want. That was
Shout out
nice.
to Vice. Vice loved that.
That was good.
That was nice.
But anyway, I mean, this is like, everybody that's getting worked up is playing into the hands of them. I mean, this shit's on Yahoo Sports. It's on ESPN. Like, it's mainstream, and Ronda Rousey's already mainstream, and this storyline has gotten mainstream. So we're doing what they want us to do, and we're kind of letting them manipulate us. But just gotta recognize what it is. She could have been doing this all along, and she's gonna come out and she's gonna lose at Mania, and I mean, we're gonna be happy
Maybe.
because she was. Yeah, maybe. That's the problem. Is Kofi could win at Mania? Maybe. It just depends on what Vince feels like
Maybe.
that day.
I mean, Raw, like I was just saying, like the pay-per-views lead us to the next night. Like, there's some of this stuff could happen on Raw, or it might not happen on Raw. But I could see Becky Lynch winning on Raw the next night. I could see Kofi Kingston winning on Raw the next night. It's
Because
I mean,
it just depends on how Vince feels.
it's
That's
a new
what
world.
it is.
Joey, what do you think?
I'm still a little perplexed by the whole Charlotte being a part of this. However, I thought when Charlotte came out, I can't remember if it was Raw or SmackDown, and I think it was SmackDown. She came out and she got a promo with Becky, and I was like, okay, this is why she's in the main event with Becky, because her promo skills with Becky are unbelievable. And for my money, I'm more interested in what they're saying than what Ronda's saying. Ronda doesn't really have to say anything for me to be interested in what Ronda's doing. You know what I mean? Like, Ronda's Ronda. I'm into it. I'm all about her, getting beat eventually. But I think they're doing the best with what they got. Obviously, it should be a singles match, but it's not. And I'm excited about it.
I'll say this.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure it should be a singles match. Like,
No, it really should be. I mean,
I'm
you
completely fine with the triple threat.
said Mr. Triple Threat.
Imagine that.
Yeah, right.
The Smalls don't get down like that. Imagine that.
I'll agree with Joey to a certain extent. Charlotte has improved her promo game. It's way better than it was a year ago, and it better was a year ago before that. So let's just get that
Well,
off the table.
she's a good heel promo.
She's a great heel promo because fans just hate her for whatever reason. Now, that being said,
She got a big
I-
face.
whatever. I mean, there you go. Hate her for whatever reason. I agree with Joey. I see why you put her in this match, make it a triple threat. Do I think that you need it? Not really. There's enough heat between Becky and Ronda to carry this as its own singles match. Maybe not be a main event of WrestleMania, but I digress. I think the biggest problem with this is now this angle has gone on so long that you had to do something to freshen it up. See the Ronda promo where now she's calling out everybody and their mama, we're all marks, this is fake, so on and so forth. Now you got us riled up again, which is all that they want. All they want us to do is just keep talking about it. Have interest all the way up until WrestleMania. We're 3 weeks away? So yeah.
Yeah, it's really close.
So
do you have
Kofi-
do you have a problem with them saying this is the main event? Like, you think this is the main event?
I think this is going to be
Definitely
the
the
main event.
main event.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it should be Kofi and Daniel Bryan. Historical value.
It's not gonna be. That's
I
gonna
just
be a
don't see-
curtain jerker.
That
If you
actually,
start with that, I would be hot.
It'll be over
Yeah.
before 8 o'clock.
No. But the thing is, they always, and I think I've said this in a couple podcasts before, but they
Miz
all
and Shane is perfect. Get that bullshit over with.
Do that on the
Miz-
pre-
they always open up.
revenge. Let's keep it.
They open up the show with a crowd pleasing finish.
There you go.
And if
Miz
Kofi,
gets his revenge.
all right, but I'm saying don't be surprised if it's Kofi versus
I will be pissed at
Dude,
Chender's house.
Edge's
Half drunk.
Edge's retirement match was the curtain jerker at WrestleMania, and
Okay.
nobody thinks about that. It was just fine. It was
Look.
just fine.
I don't want to think about that. If this is going to be
My only goal at this WrestleMania is to not get so high that I have to leave before the main event, like last year at WrestleMania.
so what time is the
Ditto.
Joker in?
Ditto.
It's your house.
It
You
was at
can't
my
leave.
house, and I had an edible, and I wasn't good the whole pay-per-view.
Oh,
I don't
I was
remember the- I don't
so
remember the half
high.
of it.
I was so high.
Yeah,
It was
Bill
bad.
ghosted us.
Oh yeah, that's the only time I've ever ghosted anybody in my
greatest
entire
part-
career.
The greatest part is that the Daniel Bryan match is coming up, and this motherfucker is so fucked up. He's like, "Everybody shut up! Everybody shut up!" You know, the vignettes coming up.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. So you're like, "Everybody be quiet, be quiet." So you know, they're
Me?
going through the whole fucking promo, the whole clip of how this match is starting to set up. So you know, you're setting everybody up, and like 10 minutes later, he's gone.
Well, bring us to that 3 count. All right, the 3 count was in a week full of a good Raw and a good SmackDown and a good pay-per-view. I think my favorite segment of the week, probably besides Vince and Kofi, was Orton versus Styles, because Orton and Styles, and this was truly, SmackDown was truly a Road to WrestleMania style SmackDown, where there were great promos and a bunch of great segments, with not a bunch of great wrestling. I mean, with a bunch of filler wrestling, not bad wrestling, obviously, but Orton came out and said in 2002, when I made my debut, AJ Styles was in the gymnasium wrestling for 12 people, and then he said in 2004, when I won my first title, he said this and this and this, and then AJ Styles came out. I mean, he cut down AJ Styles. AJ Styles came out and said, "I don't do a fake diamond cutter and shit like that." They had a really good back and forth, and to me, it was the best kind of work shoot, because the only shoot part of it was the Dixie Carter part,
That was good.
which was really good. And AJ Styles saying you wouldn't have made it in the Indies because anybody can do this, and he held his hands
And a
out,
knockoff diamond cutter.
and then knockout diamond cutter, and it was a fun and really a major league promo segment between two major league players that haven't fought before that I can
And who aren't
remember.
really known for their promos.
Yeah, neither one of them.
Neither one of them, and I can't remember. They probably faced each other in SmackDown tag team matches and shit like that. But like, I can't remember them going against each other. And they kind of made it where it wasn't heel versus face, but it's kind of, hey, you WWE purists versus you indie purists. I also liked when AJ Styles says, "You don't like the indies, go back in the locker room. You're surrounded by us." And it's like, damn,
That's absolutely true. That was my favorite part.
it was a really cool promo segment, and I think, and I can do this now because WrestleMania is sizing up to be kind of good. AJ versus RKO,
Probably.
Roman versus McIntyre,
Probably.
Daniel Bryan versus Kofi,
Probably.
Triple H versus Batista, definitely. Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, definitely. Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar, definitely. Those are 6 matches, and those are 6 huge matches. Now here's a couple maybes. Rick and Aleister Black versus the Revival.
Maybe.
I think you're looking at a 4-way. They're gonna put all
Dude,
those
there's
guys.
gonna be,
Yeah,
oh
'cause
man, there's
They need those guys on the
damn,
card,
man.
so
I'm
they're
gonna
gonna.
say that you know one of the IC US titles is gonna be a multi-man match too. I mean, look,
Cena's got to face somebody.
Maybe Angle.
maybe Angle.
Angle's facing somebody, and it's probably Cena.
Angle's facing somebody.
That would be a nice symmetry considering Cena's first match was
Yeah.
against Angle.
Finn Balor,
That's a multi-man
Kevin
match.
Owens,
That's your Money in the Bank ladder match.
Kevin Owens, Dean.
Then Dean might not be on the card.
He might be in the ladder match for the IC title.
He might be shit. He might be in Seth's corner.
Asuka. She might not be on it.
Hey,
Oh yeah,
man, no, man, fuck that.
Usos.
Fuck that.
Usos.
Fuck that.
Usos-
Asuka needs to be on the WrestleMania card. Period.
Usos cut a great promo
Awesome
on SmackDown
promo.
this week,
Awesome.
Usos are great promos.
where they were way more intense than they had any business being.
They have that tag team promo thing where they have that reciprocity, like back and forth, and it works especially good because they're
It's almost
twins.
like they shared a womb.
Yeah,
It
right.
is. It really is. And like they've worked to their strengths in that. And I mean, I've never seen anybody cut a promo like that, and it works so well where they literally finish each other's sentences. It's good.
Yeah, I feel like anytime anybody tries to do that,
Like where
they
they,
fuck it
you
up.
feel like they, you feel like they're going to
The Usos
finish each other's sentences.
Oh, see, match game, you guys suck.
So that's a
Go ahead,
bunch
go
of matches. The 6 that I named are 6 huge matches.
Okay, I just want to come back to the Orton Styles thing for a little bit because on this podcast, I'm not one of those that knock Randy Orton on the regular, but
Nor am I.
whatever. Anyway, I won't mention any names that someone knocks Randy Orton on the regular and says that they're extremely boring.
What,
But
the king of the
Is
3-star
it
match?
me?
I think we just named that person. Anyway,
King of the 3-star.
I don't understand how this is such the worst thing in the world. If being consistent is bad, then I want to be Randy fucking Orton.
Who's saying the worst thing in the world?
It's good for him.
It's great for him. That way, you at least know what
What-
you're walking into
who's
with
saying
Randy
that, though?
Orton. You're saying that he's boring. I think it's more consistent
I
than
didn't
any.
say that right now. I just said that was the best part of the week.
It's like the first bone you've thrown him in this podcast since we started.
Wait, so you wait until I say this is the best thing that Randy Orton's done in a while, and then you use it to tell me how much I hate Randy Orton?
Well, I mean, between that and now jumping on the New Day bandwagon, I would almost dare I say it's fickle.
Pancake power, motherfucker!
Okay. Dare I say it's a
I
little
can't believe he's
fickle.
wearing a.
Thank you. Dare I say it's a little fickle.
I've been
Fickle.
Listen.
Okay.
Okay,
Go ahead. Give us the explanation.
I've thought
Of your
for a couple,
fickleness.
I've thought for a couple weeks that we could go back and grab some audio from some shit that you were wrong about, but I said that would set a bad precedent.
No, by all means,
Bill,
dig
real
it
quick,
up.
real
No,
quick.
no. We
Real quick.
don't want to go back because we're only looking forward here at the BFR.
We're looking forward now. Okay.
J-Bell.
I'll never say that I didn't hate Pancake Power and that I didn't hate New Day. Of course I hate New Day, and I still hate Xavier Woods. But I'm a Kofi guy. I'm a Kofi guy from way back. Big E, I've been celebrating Big E from way back. I just think that Xavier Woods should die in a fire.
So,
And there's
Yeah.
that.
J-Bell, what was the last Randy Orton feud you were really into?
Shit, it really hasn't had a good feud in a long time.
Oh, what are you talking about? He had a good feud in a long time?
Yeah, he hasn't been booked right.
Oh.
When was the last time he's been in a world title match?
That's all we're saying. Is
Bray
that
Wyatt.
maybe-
Okay,
Bray
thank you. He hasn't been booked right. Hush.
He hasn't been booked.
Bray Wyatt! We're looking at maggots on the fucking mat, and you're going to try to sell me that I'm supposed to get invested in that?
Do you guys have
Fuck
any,
you.
Do you guys,
No.
do you guys have anything else to add about
No, not
AJ
at all.
Styles and Randy Orton?
J-Bell had a good post on Friends of BFR that showed a sign from 2004 with Randy Orton, young legend killer Intercontinental Champion Randy Orton, and a guy in the back in the crowd that had a sign that said "Sign AJ Styles." So
Really?
yeah, it was pretty
What
good.
year?
Yeah, it was
It
like
was like
2004.
2002, 2004. He was the Intercontinental Champion at the time, and he's on the turnbuckle, and he's doing the Randy Orton pose that in the corner you see the sign, and in black letters sign AJ Styles. I was
It only,
like,
it
man,
only
that's
took him
great.
15 fucking years.
Hey, they'll all figure it out eventually.
Yeah, as I was saying, keep waiting, Kofi. You might have to wait another 15 years.
So,
Thankfully, Black don't. care.
early predictions. If it's Indies versus WWE, AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, who do you think's gonna win?
If it's
Orton.
indie, if that's how they're like that,
If
that's,
that's how they're pushing it,
that's
it's going to be
definitely-
Randy Orton.
it's definitely
seems-
Orton.
I think Orton's gonna win. Too.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's going to be AJ can absorb the loss. Both
And-
guys can absorb
and
the
he's
loss.
off center?
No.
Now, dude, for our 3 counts.
Hard hitting around here. F&B Eatery on 3453 Southampton, part of our Southampton Mafia of restaurants, independent restaurants. Go check my man Mike out. He is there grinding every day, well, not every day, Wednesday through Friday from 11 to 8 on Friday. On Saturday and Sunday, they're open from 8 to 2. Nice breakfast menu. Very fast, casual food. You can get it to go. You can sit in and hang out, eat. I need to go back in there. I have been AWOL for a few weeks, so I need to throw my man some money for my hard-earned living, kissing ass, waiting tables. So yes, do yourself a favor, do myself a favor. Go check out Mike at F&B Eatery, 3453 Southampton. Tell him JCB sent you. Go ahead, giggle, motherfucker.
What's going on?
No, you sit over there getting ready to laugh. I was about to say,
No. I just like getting you riled up, man. It's fun.
It's that look, Joe. See, this is what the problem is.
Makes for good pod, Jay.
You ain't gotta get me riled up. You know, And this is what I said it last week off the air. This is who I am. And those in this room know me. This is who I am. I'm sorry, I just can't just buy into the Kofi Kingston hype train. I'm sorry. History tells us that we're about to get worked. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Let's pump the brakes on Kofi. I want Kofi to be the first black champion that WWE's ever had. But I also know the okie doke is right around the corner.
Do you want to make a bet? Do you want to make a bet right now?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be $5, $10, $20.
Whatever you're ready to give over.
I'll give you 2-to-1 odds. I'm taking Kofi Kingston is going to win the belt at WrestleMania.
I'm going to end up saying that Kofi's going to probably win it anyway, but I will take this bet.
No, at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But you have to give me 2-to-1 odds. So.
I'm giving you 2-to-1 odds.
Sure. I mean, you just said that it ain't gonna happen.
Man, I wish I could see J-Dog's face right now.
Trust me, you can go back on the. I'll say plenty of cameras around. Pick one. You can find my face anywhere.
Facebook.com/ban from ringside.
Yeah, thank you. Did not say. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
At BFR Pod. At BFR Bill.
Thank you.
At BFR GCP.
Thank you.
At BFR Zach.
Thank you.
At BFR MURR.
Bishop Murray. Joe, any social media you want to shout out?
No, I'm good. Friends of BFR, check it out.
Andrew, any social media you want to shout out?
Andrew, bumper right here.
Such a professional. He got shit to say.
All right, so Kurt Angle came out and said that he's going to have his last match at WrestleMania. I think that everybody here knows, all you loyal listeners know that Kurt Angle, I think that his run from 99 to 03 is one of the 2 to 3 best runs in wrestling history. I loved him to death. I think that he was hilarious. I thought that he was a technician who put on great matches with a variety of opponents. Who do you want, or who do you think that he's going to have as his last match at WrestleMania? Floor is open. I also like that it was with Apollo Crews the other night because apparently they're boys. I think that Apollo Crews, from what I hear, Apollo Crews went up to him as soon as he got into the big leagues and went up to Kurt Angle and said, teach me your stuff. And I'm also on record by saying Apollo Crews I think is very underused. I think he's a stud.
Yeah, he most definitely is. He's almost too nice for his own good.
Yeah, I think they'd be better off making him mean just to see what he can do.
I don't know if that's possible or not, but you never know.
No, it's not possible.
You never know. I'll say as far as who we think he's gonna face, obviously John Cena. I would love it though if they did like a storyline where it was like Jason Jordan comes back for one match to face his dad.
I
didn't even think about that. That's actually really good.
I said it when I was watching it the other night. My wife had just come home from teaching a class of yoga, and she goes, "Who's he gonna face? His black son?" And I was like, "Oh,
my black son."
I was like, "Oh yeah, he probably should face Jason." I would think Cena would make the most sense because Angle was Cena's first match in WWE.
Bookends,
Yeah.
Samoa Joe, one of the most epic rivalries that Angle ever had. Unfortunately, it was not in WWE. So
you stole my thunder. That's exactly what I was
they
saying.
had
a lot of his best.
They had a crazy rivalry though with like cage matches and all sorts of crazy matches.
No, a lot of his really best matches. We had to do a top 10 of Kurt Angle's all-time matches. I would say at least half would come from the TNA Impact side. You had AJ Styles, you had Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Christian. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Christian was at the same time. So I mean, his career is going to be great. He's obviously already in the Hall of Fame, whatever that means to anybody. But if you're going to do it this way, it's probably going to be John Cena. It just makes sense. If you're not going to have Undertaker on this, you're going to need John Cena at some point.
I would like to see Chad Gable because I think Chad Gable should have been his son with that whole storyline out of the gate.
They actually look alike.
Yeah, they look alike.
They're Olympic wrestlers.
Like, I mean, it just makes
How hard
sense.
is this to bug?
That was the biggest fucking swerve in the world. I thought it was going to be Chad Gable.
It's funny that Vince saw Angle and American Alpha was like, Make the black one his son. Instead of the one that's exactly his height,
And I'm sure he said
has the
black
same
one.
nose. Oh yeah, he says.
Well, we all know that Kurt Angle has an affinity for black women. as
Yeah,
well,
right.
though. So
Because
it's,
he's jungle fever all the way. All the kids look
you didn't know that?
a shade.
That's
beige.
like a thing, though.
Yeah, it's a thing. All right.
Anyway,
ass.
Chad Gable going over
it's
Kurt
a
Angle at
thing for all of
WrestleMania
us.
would do wonders for a singles career.
Was anybody
Yeah.
surprised at Shelton Benjamin coming out and fighting
Yeah.
Seth Rollins?
Yes, we all were.
If you won, you lying, motherfuckers. Shit.
That was a surprise, but after thinking about it, I know that Brock Lesnar and Shelton Benjamin were a tag team back in OVW. I can't remember the name of the tag team, but I guess they were boys.
It's like Minnesota Wrecking Crew or something like that. From like an old thing. But, JCB brought it up, too. He's like, as long as Paul Heyman explains this, and Paul Heyman came right out and said, these guys are boys. They came up together. They wrestled in college together. They were a tag team in OVW together. When Brock does his podcast with Austin, the guy he brings up train with is always Shelton Benjamin. It's not anybody else. So it
Really?
made total sense. Yeah, and Shelton Benjamin, man, he looks great.
I don't see
You look
why
jacked,
he,
baby.
I don't
looking real jacked.
I don't see why he never had a run at the IC.
See, I
when he
wonder
came
why.
back or something.
Well,
Let's think about this, shall we? Sheldon Benjamin. What?
I mean,
they gave us a
I
12-minute
guess that's
match.
possible.
What's
I guess that's
wrong
possible.
with Sheldon?
I guess it's possible. What you're saying is that he's black
wrestles
and that
too
he
well?
didn't get the push. I guess it's
Yeah.
possible,
You think so?
but he never got the push back in the day
Yeah,
either.
Kofi just waited 11 years, so I guess
Man,
Sheldon's got to
it's-
wait, what, 2 or 3 more?
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay.
guess.
I mean,
Vince
just,
hates
if
black
it's the
people.
11-year rule, just let us all know. Poor Big E, shit, he'll be like in his late 30s by the time he gets his push.
He's
Fuck.
gonna
He's
form
gonna be like 32.
New Day.
How the fuck old is he now? He's a young man.
Shelton Benjamin's
I
gonna
love
join
him.
New Day, and they're gonna form a new stable called Reparations.
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. I love the other night when Vince said, "Nothing's bigger than my ego," and you could see Big E could not stop. He tried not to laugh.
Come on, man.
Because Vince took it so slow. What's the other thing? Oh, Triple H and Batista.
Yay.
It's funny
Well,
that
bar.
it just happened because I was like, oh
Nah.
shit. I was like, this is the thing that's happened, and then like, all right, you got it at WrestleMania. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, we hadn't actually solidified that yet, but
Yeah.
That's what happened with Miz and Shane, except Shane just actually made the match just because he could. He was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, we'll fight at WrestleMania.
Here's a question. I know we're going through this fresh start because WWE was so bad, but I was thinking about this the other night. Half of the McMahons are now, I would consider heels at this point, being Vince and Shane. The other half, Triple H and Steph, can
heels
be,
when it suits them.
I was going to say gray at best. Now, I thought we were trying to get away from that versus going back to the same old shit, but slowly but surely we're kind of like sliding into old habits, and I guess that's why my big thing about Kofi. I get it, I understand the hype, but something just tells me we're gonna slide back to an old habit where it just suits us just fine. The only thing that I can say that will be different is the Saudi show should be coming up right after WrestleMania, and Daniel Bryan didn't go last year. He probably won't go this year. That's your way you can get Kofi the belt. And then at a later point, if you want to take it off of him right away, you can do it that way.
What is it, May that they're going to the
I
Saudi
believe
again?
May is the Saudi show.
Yeah.
I have some audio from the Batista Triple H promo the other night. This is exclusive to Band from Ringside. Everybody listen.
Stop.
Give me the money, you motherfucker! Give me back my son! Give me back my son! My son! Give me back my son! My son! Give me back my son! Give me the money! My son! Give me back my son!
You ain't got good sense.
I love
Great
that.
promo
I
by
love
Triple
that so
H.
much.
Just what the?
That
I
promo
think
was
we all know what you want. Just
that promo was written by
Don't
Jim
keep saying
Johnston.
we
I mean,
We know what
Batista,
we're here for.
Batista just kept saying, "Give me what I want. Give me what I want."
I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the promo.
Do you guys care about this feud at all?
Not
I
at
do.
all.
No, I do.
Not at all.
Do you?
I do, and
Man, I don't.
Why? What's so special about this?
I just think that when Triple H gets involved in the feud, it's huge, and it has been huge for the last few years.
Here's what's annoying is they're forcing us to forget that Batista already beat Triple H at Mania, so like that was the last thing that happened.
Batista. If you watch, Batista beat Triple H 3 pay-per-views in a row, like back in like 2004, clean 1, 2, 3, which makes you wonder why did they keep booking him against him, but. What the fuck does that matter 13 years later, not 15 years later?
when they ask us to forget things that happened
See,
last
I like
week,
that short-term history bullshit, man. Don't play me for stupid.
when they ask us to forget things that happened last week, it's fine to forget things that happened
You
13,
guys,
14
it's
years ago.
WrestleMania season. Just lay back
So-
and enjoy
So
it.
Triple H is definitely going over.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Just lay back and enjoy it, guys. It's gonna be good. There's gonna be 14 matches on this card. You're gonna get to watch. You're gonna get to watch.
This motherfucker be gone by match number 9.
That only happened one time.
You gotta pace yourself.
God damn you! I watched 11 WrestleManias with you. That only happened one time. You guys get to watch TakeOver the night before. You guys get to watch Ring of Honor, NXT, whatever. You guys get to watch NJPW the night before, whatever. Just
Joey-
enjoy yourselves.
Joey Janela. Yeah.
Yeah,
God,
it'd be a good weekend.
watch some good wrestlers for a little bit of shit. Oh, that weekend is gonna be ridiculous.
You guys go with Roman versus McIntyre? That seems like a pretty good match for a WrestleMania,
Oh, I'm
right?
really cool with that. That's great.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
where
so, yeah.
that's where McIntyre should be.
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean,
Even if he loses, that's where you should be.
I guess
Fighting-
you get the rub from Roman and you go back to mid-card purgatory, I guess. I don't know. I just think and I said this a while ago. The loss against Dolph Ziggler way back when.
You're the only motherfucker that remembers that.
The only motherfucker that remembers that.
sorry, not sorry, motherfuckers. That motherfucking loss happened and it ain't been right since.
All right, so who's Finn Balor face at WrestleMania?
Everybody. Lashley,
Who's,
Leo Rush.
who's KO fake?
It'd be cool if Sammy's back.
KO might be in that ladder match for the Intercontinental title.
Nah. Just had him wrestling for the title, though. I mean, just damn.
There's only so many matches to go around.
You got pee?
No, my leg fell asleep, so I'm standing up.
Who's
yeah.
Asuka fight? Triple
Ma-
threat
Mandy
versus Mandy
Rose.
Rose in Sonya Deville.
Yeah,
Triple threat.
pre-show match.
All right.
That is so horrible. This is.
But you want everything to be
Charlotte.
booked perfect?
Charlotte.
God damn. You want
It makes
everything to book. You
sense.
have
Does
14
that
matches.
not make sense? Does it not make sense? It's revenge. You don't have to make it
Are
any
you fine-
simpler than that.
Are you fine with Braun Strowman versus Colin
gives a
Jost and
fuck?
Michael
Who
Che?
gives a fuck about Braun Strowman? Vince don't care. Why should I?
Are you cool with?
That Saturday Night Live shit was
Dumb.
terrible.
Dumb. You could tell that car was fake.
There's never been an instance on WWE Monday Night Raw where they brought a celebrity in where it worked out, except for Hugh Jackman.
Testament
He
to Hugh
fucked up
Jackman.
Dolph Ziggler.
Ziggler. He broke his nose or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. Are you good with Alexa Bliss being the host?
Sure.
Yeah. Just whatever. Throw
I
me
mean,
some leg.
at this point, I'm just glad it's not some dumbass celebrity who doesn't care about wrestling.
Agreed.
Calls
Yeah.
it Summerfest or
Yeah.
WrestleFest or
Yeah.
That's
Or-
fine. You keep
Or
Alexa.
Hulk Hogan calling
Saying it
Dallas Detroit or whatever.
Here-
that was
called
that was great though.
It was the Silver Dome because he was so used to talking about WrestleMania 3 and they were in the Superdome at WrestleMania 30. So yeah, I give him a little, pass. 330,
Here's
two
a
S's,
here's a
domes.
question.
Tell you
So
what, Alexa Bliss could read me the dictionary.
she could. I have faith in her.
That's it.
No, here. I have a question.
Unreal.
So we've had so many instances where wrestling, the word wrestling is not allowed to be spoken or written. World Wrestling Entertainment is not World Wrestling Entertainment. It's only WWE.
Yeah, they won't say a word.
There is no professional wrestling. It's only sports entertainment.
Agreed.
How long do you guys think before we get an Andrade situation or a Neville situation where Mania is just Mania and it's no longer WrestleMania? I can see 2020 is just
Never.
Mania.
Never.
You don't think so?
Never.
I can see him rebranding that
No.
shit. Mania.
No. That shit's trademarked.
That was a good race. I think it's
Would you rather see Joe versus Cena, or would you rather see Joe versus Andrade and Rey Mysterio?
Well, that
I think that's a no-brainer. That is a no-brainer. As much as I don't want to see
Andrade,
another
right.
triple threat match, if there was a triple threat that I want to see, that could be that one.
So you guys love.
I'm okay with that. In that case, yes.
You guys
I'm
love
good with
the
In
it.
this case, yes. In this case, yes.
right bumper right here, Andrew.
Talking with some bullshit.
Hey everybody! Before we go, we got some birthdays to get to. Santino Marella is 45. The Iron Sheik, who I still cannot believe that he is the actual person behind this Twitter personality.
Apparently he's not. It's actually
Dude,
kind of
that
a sad
sucks.
situation.
That-
sucks,
That
man.
makes sense. He's
Yeah.
77. Jordan Devlin is
Oh,
29.
boy.
Maxwell
Is he
Jacob.
any relation to Michael Devlin?
Man, don't make me snatch
That's a local joke. People don't get it. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, is 23. Samoa Joe is 4 months younger than me. He's 39. Test, R.I.P.
you up. R.I.P.
Would have been 44. Rick the Mono Martel,
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Would have been 63. EC3 is 36. Matt
Oh, did you
Sydal.
guys just say Rick the Mono Martel R.I.P.?
Yeah.
He's alive.
Hey, Rick the Mono Martel is
Is he?
63 years old.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? EC3 is
Okay.
36. Matt
Well, he's
Sydal,
all right.
a.k.a. Evan Bourne, who
St. Louis guy.
went to Mizzou. Yep. Hell yeah, 36. AJ Lee is 32.
Woo.
Homicide. The only thing I remember from Homicide is they couldn't climb to the top of the cage during that TNA. The only TNA pay-per-view I ever bought
The
back
red,
in
the red cage?
yeah, back in 2007. He couldn't climb to the top of it. He's a failure.
Shit.
He's 42. Matt Taven fighting for the Ring of Honor Championship
God, this
this
is gonna be a great
Saturday
fucking
is
weekend for
34. And Sting, Steve Borden, die in your sleep, Sting. He's 60.
You going
I
to
love
hell.
some Sting.
You're
Love
going to
Sting.
hell.
Sting was one of my favorites.
You're going to hell.
Hey, everybody, we know there's not a podcast to listen to, so we appreciate you guys listening to our podcast. For Shock City Studios.
Check.
For Andrew Bushway.
That's why hip. Check.
For Soul Taco.
Check.
For Steve Borden.
Check. He's
For
still alive.
F&B
That guy.
Eatery.
Check.
For JJ Twigs.
Check.
For Murray, the Murray Man Murray. We miss you, Murray.
Miss you, Murray.
For Tender
Check.
Mahal.
Check.
For Two Beer Zach Pullman.
Check.
For Jason Cornelius Bell.
Check.
I am Bill Vega. And
Check.
everybody boo the Heat.
Can you start where the fucking
You gotta do it
computer-
again?
Yeah.
All right.
Where wherever you start the for part, like for, whoever.
All right.
We're like, yeah.
For Shock City Studios.
Check.
For Soul Taco.
Check.
For JJ Twigs on Southampton.
Check.
For Schlafly Beer.
Check.
For F&B Eatery.
Check.
For Andrew Bushway.
Mr. White Pip. Check.
L for Sam the Mauler Mall.
You sick bastard.
For-
Check.
Murray the Murray Man Murray. We miss you,
Miss you, Murray. Don't
For
get caught up
Tender
tonight.
Mahal.
Check.
For Two Beer Zach Bowman.
Check.
For Jason Cornelius Bell.
I do like the
for,
WWE, everybody. Check.
for Michael Smart Duncan, Bill Vega.
Check.
I am Bill Vega, and everybody, boo the Heat!
I tell you, it's like an airplane. I land that joke every time.
Nice. Thanks, guys. All right. It'll be probably like 8:30ish. But
That's
I'll
cool.
send you an email.
He said 8:30ish. Sam doesn't do that.
Sam always makes me text him to remind him that he's sending it to me. Do I have to text you to remind you, Andrew?
No.
That's because you're the man.
It's one of the reasons.
The other one is that dick.
The other one's that dick. Yeah. You coming over to Joey's for WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, that's gonna be a shit show.
Hey, I gotta talk to you about shit.
Yep.
Yeah. We're going to Germany in
Oh, yeah.
July.
Right on.
And we're trying to decide whether or not
July what?
22nd.
Okay.
22nd to like the 30th.
That's fine.
Or 22nd to like August 2nd.
I'm gone the first week of July.
So we're trying to decide how to spend the second part of our trip. Like the first part of our trip, we're going like with this group of people, and like the chick lives in like this small town, or she's from the small town in Germany, which seems cool to us, like mountains and everything.
Yeah.
Second part, we're either going to Prague or northern Italy. And I know you've been to Prague,
I've been
right?
to Prague. I haven't been to Italy. Yeah.
But like you endorse Prague.
Very much so. I could live there. Like, and it's like super cheap. Cheaper than Italy. And it was
Yeah, and it's